eagerly awaiting to see how that really pans out after we heard also from the officials of IBC Commissioner there, Ali Tulala Mukhwana, and Ali Nunu, who is original Commissioner there, also talking about the security situation and the update and the voter turnout as well, and we shall keep you updated. We continue with the conversation with our panelist here. I'd interrupted Advocate Harrison Kinyanjui. Hope you've not lost your train of thought, sir. No. Yes, please.
Allow me to say that what happened in Beira North was a violation of the law that, in my humble view, ought to form the basis of an electoral contest. Let's look at the outcome that has been announced, allegedly declaring the UDA candidate as the winner. What is the margin of win? It is so thin as to cast aspersions on the veracity thereof, given and against the background of a 63%, well, according to the returning officer, we're told that 63% of the voter turnout. What? Wait a minute. Everywhere else, there is a low voter turnout, as would be expected in a by-election. Again, because of what I said earlier, that employees, or it's a working day, so therefore people went out to fend for themselves. And therefore, they don't show up to vote. But somehow, mysteriously, this is, I don't want to call it the Black Swan event, that you have this Beira North creating such a huge exception to the norm.
But premium attention had been given to Beira North.
Absolutely.
We've seen the deputy president camping there as well. The former deputy president, DCP party leader, has been a happy camper for almost 2 good weeks, mobilizing.
But still, camping there.
There's sort of a stimulation that was there. You could actually maybe expect the results to turn out to be that.
But not 63%. Not 63%. So I say that narrow the narrow margin itself, in my humble view, cast aspersions on that win. And I believe that's going to be hotly contested. It's going to be a legal contest, in my humble view. And the likely outcome is that that election will be nullified. It will be nullified for, in my view, again, without wishing to be the harbinger of bad news.
On what technicalities? Is it now the electoral process itself?
Yes. Yes, the entire process.
Is it also for the name that we're talking about and the way he was cleared?
Yes. That's one of the reasons, and I believe it will probably be a bedrock, part of the bedrock. But another more fundamental reason is the process that was involved, use of and the deployment of state resources in a manner that is expressly forbidden by the Elections Act and the Electoral Code of Conduct. And you cannot have the deployment of state resources and the cheating of voters. But we even found a governor giving sweets. You don't go doing that on a Sunday. You, as a governor of, going to Beira North, you didn't do that a month ago. But somehow you found it necessary to go and do it during this election. That contextualizes your action as a crime. It is called treating in the Election Offences Act. And therefore, that's the other one. The other issue is the voter intimidation that was going on. That we saw that, and then we heard all these myriad of incidents. All this vehicle that has been seen with altered registration number plates. These bags of money that going on. So all of that, I believe, will sum up in an electoral dispute where the court will very likely, more than likely, overturn that election. And what will happen? We'll go back to the drawing board, in my humble view, and I don't believe that the Beira North should embrace and accept an electoral process that is conducted outside the law and therefore is endorsed and offers, in my view, a blueprint for the 2027 election to be so interfered with. Because everybody's going to be saying, you allowed it in Beira North. You blinked at it. How can you question 2027? We must not accept this sort of thing. And an IEBC that is in place right now is blinking at this without even allowing the law to take its course.
Right.
Alutalala, as I close, that last remark, Alutalala goes and says that, we shouldn't be doing this. The Philippines, and he gives an example, the Philippines, has these many millions of people, and they do their tallying in 2.5 hours. How about Section 44 of the Elections Act? I mean, he's supposed to be there knowing what Section 44 says. It talks about automation. It talks about using that electronic system if he has. And you have people in Magarini, 10 of them who showed up, the Kim's kit had failed. What are we talking about?
Mm-hmm. All right, let's hear from Honorable Ruto.
Thank you so much. Listening to Akili, at start he began well, but as he's ending, it shows the position he's taking is purely political review from him. First of all,
so he began well. Do you agree with the assessment that yes, there are contentious issues?
It's like it's from utopian world.
Utopian. I'm quoting the law.
In the real world, first of all,
the law.
Well, quoting us, like we can quote scriptures, you can quote Bible, you can quote Quran, but you can still perpetrate your agenda, so it doesn't make any difference. But first of all, I would have wished also him to make comment on the conduct of the person and character of a statesman person called Justin Muturi, the former Speaker of the National Assembly for 2 terms, on the way he conducted himself, blatantly attacking a young man. So that I would appreciate if he would apportion that kind of contempt to all aspects. It will sound good. But nonetheless, to say...
He was fighting for order, right? Going by
what kind of order? Young man walking there, whatever, but does he have
It was actually him living out what is written. Yeah, fighting for order.
Please let us not sanitize what is evil, it is evil. But trying to listen to that commissioner who said we are in an era of misinformation and disinformation. Some of our arguments that we are putting across here purely is a reflection of what we have not confirmed or either has been subjected to confirmation. Like I saw a fan carrying some stuff. The same fan is what we saw in 2022, again being circulated here today, that it was being carrying some foodstuff around Behere, All this put together. I saw another guy walking naked. I mean, you could compare with Honorable Kaluma, who had been bruised and, the blood had flown out of his face and you could see the blood turning black. This one had some red stuff, walking naked in the morning. And it was meant to whip emotions of people. I mean, if this is the way we want to justify some election offenses in the pretext that we want to see the other guy on the other side that is perpetrating illegality, against condemning all this one, I think it is something that we should not go that direction. What is wrong, it is wrong. Conflict of Interest Act that we just amended in the floor of the House the other day was able to separate the role of a minister from a public officer and conferring some responsibility of carrying a political agenda. And I don't see anything wrong. First of all, Honorable Ruku is electorate member of Mbeere North. Remember, he was a member of parliament from Mbeere. Him appearing, casting vote, has nothing totally to be seen that he was committing any offense. I mean, for God's sake. Him participating...
But hasn't he been on the campaign trail?
But as I've said, look at the Conflict of Interest Act, the amendment. So...
But the Elections Act itself.
Yes. So
other than
this
the
conflict of interest, yeah, is it superseding what is on the election?
No. I mean, giving him latitude to, especially because what Ruku was doing, I saw him every other time appearing. He was on driving the agenda of the government at the end of the day.
But how providential can it be, during the campaign time? Is when you're driving
him going around the country. He was not only in Mbeere North. We've seen him going around the country doing the work. So why haven't we condemned him? Appearing on the other side of the country and only want to single out him appearing in Mbeere. Mbeere is part of Kenya like the other side of the Kenya. I mean, let's allow Ruku to do his work like any other minister.
Just for the optics that now you're supposed to be apolitical. You as a cabinet secretary, you are going, even that perception that we have, I don't know if it is well with you that we should be having him flanking also the member of parliament elect. Right? And having that particular optics being binged, that you were there, the cabinet secretary, the deputy president. I don't know what you will say.
What I'm asking...
Well, for deputy president, that's a different kettle of fish altogether, but for the cabinet secretary.
But I'm asking, for him being from home, because I never saw any other person, because I saw him, I saw the governor, those are executive people who were there, and that is their county, that is his constituency. I mean, appearing at home, why do you want to condemn him being at home?
But
so
you cannot,
does it equalize, does it take a right for him to be at home just by virtue that he's a minister?
But you can't campaign for someone. You can't.
Well,
that's the law.
Campaigns comes in many modes, and it comes from the way you would want to view, you know? So first of all, following up on that one, as we've agreed, truth to be said, let's give credit to IEBC. Let's give credit. Remember, this is the first job they've come to do. With all these emotions that were raised before. Remember the campaigns run by the former deputy president there before. They're very emotive. I mean, you could even imagine yourself sitting in that a situation where, especially in Berenot and Malaba, I don't know, for some reasons, and I think this is where we are going wrong as Kenyans and in the media. You know, we elevated these particular by-elections to be a reflection of 2027. And it kept that perception and pressure. You know, we mounted pressure on the way we were projecting these particular by-elections. So I want to give credit to IEBC, that even as today they have given us results, they have tried. And in any case, for an elected position of a member of parliament, it's not a 50+1 required by the law. A win is a win, even by one difference. And that's what is called democracy. 65%, or 63% of 55 registered voters on Beira Note. It's a plus. If you tally the votes of the winner and the second runners-up, it's more than 30%, 30,000. 30% again, it's more than 30% compared to 55. How can it not amount to 63%? I mean, is it wrong for Beira Note residents or electorates turning up to 30% as compared to the other side? I mean, sometimes we make some facts as if that it was supposed to be below there or compared to the other one. I mean, I want to disagree with that. That from Beira Note, and the level of energies which have been put in place, the level of campaign which have been put in place, and the way you would see people turning out during campaigns in massive numbers, they were prepared for this one. And we should give also credit to those people. Yes, please.
Well, I would want to agree with Mheshimiwa, because I remember also some years back, we were covering the general election, and I was in Kericho, and there was this particular constituency that had 10 registered voters. And they all turned up. In fact, people were being rallied about coming out from the markets to go and cast their votes, all of them. So it was actually the country, the 100%, voter turnout in that particular constituency. So this could be also the case in Mbeere North as well. For them that actually had, turned out and given that particular, of course, voter registration as well, it could be the same case.
Pre-marked ballot.
Can I pre-marked ballot? It's not been verified yet.
Please.
Those are
let's
purely
cast as